guys, today we're going to be chatting about Fenty Beauty, basically just going to be playing with some old and new. I purchased and reviewed their foundation last year as soon as it came out. I was lined up at the door at Sephora first thing in the morning, but the shade was off. I didn't love the way it looked on my skin, so I ended up returning it, but now I have my actual shade and I wanted to give it another chance. Then I also have their Moroccan palette, which is not brand new. I have played with that before, so I'll link to that video down below, but I wanted to do another look because there's so many shades in there. And then I also have their diamond highlighter and lip gloss, which I have actually never tried, and I'm really curious to see what that highlighter is going to look like on my skin. I'm actually a little bit afraid of it, but I'm going to put it on my body as well. And then I have the new shades of liquid lipstick. I believe that's it. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. So I want to kick it off with their foundation. Like I said, I did review this, so I will link to it down below along with a bunch of their new launches as soon as it came out. But today I primed my skin with the Origins Original Skin Pore Perfecting Cooling Primer. I like this because it's smoothing and a little bit hydrating, but doesn't add too much dewiness to my skin. This is quite a matte foundation, so I don't want to add a super mattifying primer underneath it. And then I also sprayed my face with the primer water from Smashbox. So today I have the shade 310. When I bought it initially, I bought 330. It was so hard to tell in store because, like I said, the day I went, it was like the morning that it launched in Canada in store. So it was just like pandemonium, and the lighting in Sephora was weird, and then it kind of oxidizes a little bit, although they say it doesn't oxidize, it deepens, but you know, whatever. It changed color a little bit. So I want to try and prep my skin accordingly. I did wear this yesterday, but I find it needs a little bit of hydration, and then I want to use it with a sponge because I'm not as into like full coverage foundations as I was. Definitely more of like a natural medium gal, but I feel like even with full coverage matte foundations, if you use it in a lower dose and prep your skin properly, you can get a more medium coverage. But I have to say, when I wore it yesterday, I liked it a lot more than the first time I tried it. And it wore really nicely, and I filmed and I thought it looked amazing. I found when I wore it the first time, it just looked so orange on my skin. I felt like I got really oily and patchy, and it just, I don't know, it didn't go great. And I feel like people will come out with pitchforks when you don't like this brand, which, like, fair enough. Like, it's an incredible brand and what they've done for the industry is amazing, but at the same time, like, we should be able to review it fairly. Like, just because I don't like the foundation doesn't mean I'm not all the way here for Rihanna's cause. Because, like, you know, I've been advocating for more shade ranges in foundations, both here on my channel and in person with people who work for brands ever since I started my channel. Anyways, we won't get into all of that. But I gotta say, when I wore it yesterday, I definitely enjoyed it, and I didn't notice a ton of like oxidization. Like, I thought it looked good on my skin. So the shade is definitely better. I did a blog post back when this launched comparing the shade 330 to a bunch of other more popular foundation shades, so I'll link that down below, and then I'll do a revised post showing it next to some other, the 310 next to some other foundations. And this is probably like not news to you. I mean, this foundation has been reviewed a million times, but I remember like back when I initially reviewed it, a lot of you were kind of unsure about it as well, picking your shade, and some of you wanted me to give it a second chance. So here we are, and so far so good. If you'd like an actual dedicated re-review, let me know, because my skin has kind of changed a little bit. My preferences have changed. This is a better shade, so I'm happy to do like another oily skin diaries with it if you'd like. So I really like the way that this foundation looks on the skin, especially, like I said, with a hydrating primer and lighter layers and a sponge as opposed to something super built up. It's kind of my personal preference of where I'm at with foundations right now, so I really like the way that it looks. I feel like if you have more normal skin, you probably wouldn't even set this. I'm definitely going to set it, so I'm going to go ahead and put on my concealer and my powder, and then we'll be back. I'm going to do my eyes with the Moroccan Spice palette.
Bill's alibi too. She thought he was making it up. Ooh, but Principal Smith either way is found
guilty
even 5 years.
What are you doing up here? You never do that. Rue has joined us for a moment. Oh, hey, she's literally never done this before. What are you doing? Do you want to be in the background? I'm gonna start with the shade Cumin Get It, and I'm thinking about like doing the blues out of this palette and using the diamond dust as well on my eyes. The Diamond Balm, sorry. That scares me a little bit. That's like cool toned and blues, which is something I normally don't do. as I start off with a warm brown eyeshadow. But I'm trying to mix it up, trying to not only keep it interesting for you, but keep it interesting for me. Sometimes when you try something new, you're like, oh, that's actually super pretty. And sometimes it's a mess, and then you know it wasn't a good idea, but then at least you know. I'm gonna take this shade here, which I think is Hennessy. Hennessy, we'll play on words. And just pop this in the outer corner. You can hear Rue there. She's trying to figure out where to walk. She's on my table, which is completely covered in makeup. And this is a Fenty. This is a Fenty eyeshadow brush number 200. She's never done this before. Okay. Is this what you wanted? Some screen time? You wanted a little bit of screen time? I really want to try the like highlight brush. It's such an interesting shape. Let me know if you've tried it. Like, is it worth it? Does it actually work? Because I've seen like Priscilla, her makeup artist, use it on so many girls, but like she's an amazing makeup artist, which obviously is not me. So I'm like, will that work for me too? With a wet brush, I'm gonna take this shade here. I don't know the shade. It's too annoying trying to figure it out. It's like the shades are in the reverse on the back of the palette, and I'm like, I just can't figure it out. Just a tiny brush, packing it on, and over on this side too. This is probably such a bad idea. I'm like, let me try working with blues and doing like a halo eye, which is something I don't know that I've ever done before. We're all in this together. Okay, so then just lightly with what's left on my brush, I'm gonna try and kind of blend these together. I don't want it to be like totally the same color. I just don't want to go in with like a white right over it and have it be too stark. So I just want like a little bit of blue here in the middle. Then again with my wet brush, I'm going to take this shade here and put it in the center. And from swatching it, it looks like it has like a little bit of pink in it. So that's why I kind of wanted to put the blue underneath too. People are always like, how do you get good at makeup? Blah, 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 blah. And not to say that I'm super good at makeup, but it's really just a matter of putting it on your face. Like there's only so many tutorials that you can watch. Like obviously you can get helpful hints and tips, but if you're not actually practicing on your own face, like that's exactly how I was able to kind of like hone my skills and change my skills and try new things, even if it's at the end of the night when like it's low stakes and you're just like getting ready for bed. Then let's pop a little bit of this on the inner corner. Who am I today with the silver? Riri got me stepping out of my comfort zone here. Oh man, I don't know about this on my face. It's like pure glitter. And silver at that. Okay, so the eyes are complete-ish. I mean, they don't really look like a halo eye, but if you came here looking for a perfect beauty guru, you came to the wrong place, my friend. But I do like the way it looks, and I don't wear a lot of blue. So now let's try the Diamond Balm in How Many Carats on my body. I'm really scared to put it on my face, so let's try body first. I bet like people are rejoicing who are like sick of all the warm tone stuff, because I feel like the Diamond Balm and the Diamond Milk lip gloss are kind of trendy right now. I saw it in like the Desi Katie collection, this kind of more like milky with silver in it, because I guess like the 80s 90s is back, right? And that's more that time. I remember having like a silver Bonnie Bell Marshmallow Moon or something lip balm that I wasn't allowed to wear to school because it turned my lips silver, but I snuck it to school anyways because I'm bad. It looks really good. I'm surprised. I would never put silver on my body, and I think it looks really good on camera. Like it really makes me look wet. In person it's definitely like very obviously very small glitter particles, but I feel like on camera it looks really good. I don't know. You tell me in the comment section. I'll be able to tell when I'm editing what I think, but from here in the viewfinder, it just really makes my skin look moisturized, but from up close, like when I'm looking in the mirror that I have here in front of me, it's definitely obviously glitter. but I put on quite a bit, and I like this brush too. It makes it really easy to apply. So here's the part that makes me a little bit nervous that I've kind of been avoiding and I was debating not doing, but I feel like some of you may want to see what this looks like on a skin tone like me, which is about an NC42. So I am going to put this on my cheeks, but I did just want to mention that the Killawatt highlight in Mean Money Hustla Baby, mine is like falling apart. I've actually hit pan on the more satin side. I love it. I think that this dual is just incredible. I've talked about it to no end, but I just love that you get this dual pan because this looks so beautiful and so natural on the skin, and then you can kind of amp it up, or you can do just the really like kind of bright one or just the satin one. So it's been great for travel and I absolutely love it. This one, however, it doesn't excite me as a face highlight just because of the glitteriness and the silverness, which is like the complete opposite of what I go for in a highlighter. And they use it in a lot of like beautiful editorial work, but like I'm not editorial, I'm just me. So I don't know that I would wear this on the everyday, which is fine. I mean, not everything has to be suitable for me. Yeah, that's pretty glittery. I'm using just the e.l.f. small tapered brush, and I just put like a tiny bit on because I was scared. Get a little bit closer. I don't know what it looks like on camera, like I said. I think it looks better, but in person it's actually very glittery, so that is definitely not my preference. I think it's cute, like it's not huge chunks of glitter, but I definitely prefer something more smooth, so I'm just gonna put this other one over it. But there's not much of like a base to it, like it's pretty much just like the suspended glitter bit, so kind of depends what you're looking for, but I really like the way that it looks on the body. And if you have a more fair skin tone, you may really enjoy that. It just kind of depends. Then for lips, I was really curious to try the Diamond Milk because I absolutely love the original Fenty gloss, but again, this like milky, silvery ness is a little scary to me, but it could be great for layering as well. It's very interesting. I feel like, and I've said this a couple times now, but I really feel like it looks better on camera than it does in person. In person, it's a little bit more milky and you can definitely see the light silverness to it, which is not my jam, but I feel like it could look really good over a lipstick. So the original is definitely more my preference. That's something I can wear on its own. I can wear over a gloss. I can wear on a heavy makeup day, on a light makeup day. It's just so versatile and so amazing. So this is definitely going to be a little bit of a, like if you love the original one, you may not necessarily love this one, but if you're looking for something more cool toned, I think that this is a great option, and the formula is really nice. It doesn't feel like particularly gritty. It has that same formula where it's a little bit thick, looks really juicy on the lips, but I will try it over one of their lip paints perhaps. So now I'm going to try on the lip paints. These are the Stunna lip paints. This one's in the shade Unbuttoned. And I hope you like this kind of like casual style of video. I basically just wanted to play with all of these products and I thought we would do it together. And I really like these lip paints. I love the applicator. So here's the first shade in Unbuttoned. This is definitely a very, very light but peachy shade. I would wear this and have worn this with a lip liner. I also love it as kind of like a layering lipstick, if that makes sense. But if you're lighter than me, you could definitely pull this off without a lip liner. I recently did a video on my favorite lip liners for kind of more nude lipsticks, and I really like, I don't at all dock points for the fact that I need to wear a lip liner with it because I really love that look of like a lighter peachy lipstick with a deeper lip liner. I think it just looks so flattering, and I would wear it with an eye like this because it is quite a bold eye, and I feel like when you have a light lip on, it can just really, really make the eyes pop. Sometimes it's fun to wear like a deep lip with a deep eye, but it can just really, really look beautiful. So I really do like this one, and let me just pop the Diamond Milk over it and see what happens. I'm curious. It definitely has, I feel like it changed the tone of my lipstick a little. So I definitely like the way it looks more layered over something, but I think I still would pick the initial lip gloss because I don't love the silverness in it, but I do like the way it looks layered. It adds like a really nice kind of sheen to the lips, but the silver particles just get me. This is where my lips get very unhappy because I'm putting on and off liquid lipsticks. The next one is in the shade Uncuffed. This one is gorgeous. What I'm pretty sure she was doing was creating a shade for the like 200s, then the 300s would be this one, the 400s would be the next deepest shade, and it's kind of like a nude for each skin tone, but I think anybody can wear any of them. It just depends on what you're looking for. But I love this shade, and I don't think the video is up yet, but I have a full coverage foundation routine coming up where I mix together this one and the one that I just wore, and it was just the perfect combination. I hate to tell you to go out and buy 2 liquid lipsticks, but if you had by chance bought them and you never thought to mix them up, this one with a little bit of the, what is it called, unbuttoned in the middle is gorgeous, but this shade on its own is incredible. It almost reminds me of like a Kat Von D Lolita, that kind of shade, the original one. And the formula on these I find to be quite comfortable. If you do a light layer, it lasts a little bit longer. If you do kind of thicker layers, I find it not to be 100% transfer proof, but really beautiful, and the packaging is gorgeous. Super, super strong pigmentation, and I really like the applicator too. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this one off, and then we will put on Unveil. So Unveil is more of like a brown, and I really like it. I wore it in a recent video of full face of what's new at Sephora with the Urban Decay Naked Cherry palette. And the brown with the pink eye, like, surprisingly worked. I have lipstick on my tooth. How long has it been there? I didn't even tell me. So yeah, I really, really love this. I love a brown lip, and I think that this has a really nice amount of warmth in it. It's almost like milk chocolatey, but with a little bit of depth. And I've seen it on people who have deeper skin tone, and it just like blends in with their skin tone and looks incredible. And they were marketing it as a nude, which I think is so important, because nude literally is so subjective. Like, it literally has to match your skin tone for it to technically be nude. So just calling anything that's like a light beige nude is very much untrue. That's just, you know, the world we live in. So I thought it was cool that they were marketing it as a nude, and obviously it isn't on me, but I still really like the shade. What's also interesting too is I feel like all 3 of those lips went with this eye look, which is surprising. I still have a little bit left on my lips, but I'm coming in with a black lipstick, so it doesn't really matter. This one is in the shade Uninvited. I think this might be limited edition packaging with the black matte. But then there's also the one with the original cap. This is gonna be intense. I haven't tried this one yet. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Oh, baby. Gotta get close to my mirror. And here we are with the final deep lip. I think that this is a great shade. Probably not for everybody. It actually has a little bit of a thinner formula, I find, than the other ones, and it takes a little bit longer to dry down because I had to layer it up a little bit more to get it even, but I think it looks really good now. What I find interesting about Rihanna's makeup line is some of it is like kind of challenging products, if that makes sense. I feel like she's challenging us to try new things, and because it's Rihanna, I feel like people will be more willing to rock a black lip or to use all of the, you know, she came out with that fully shimmer palette last year, or she's got a bunch of cool new lipstick shades coming out in her holiday collection, and her holiday face palette as well is not kind of the typical shades, which I think is fun. I mean, there's lots of typical out there, so it's interesting to see that people are willing to put themselves out there a little bit more with Rihanna's makeup line, and I think that that's super fun. So overall, really happy with everything that I tried today. The Diamond products are, like, I definitely plan on using this on my body again. I probably won't use it on my face, and the gloss I can see myself using for sure with certain lipsticks, but for me I definitely prefer the original Killawatt highlighters, just because I don't know if I'm plain or basic, but I don't love like silver, that silver tone. Maybe if it was gold I may be more willing to put it on my face, or the lip gloss was gold. For me, silver is just not only do I not enjoy it, but I don't find it a particularly flattering color on me. But that being said, if you are sick of golds and warm tones, those will be right up your alley. So they're great products, but for me, it's just kind of a personal preference thing. So let me know down below what you have tried lately. Are you excited for the holiday stuff? And if you would like to see the kind of updated retry of the original foundation. So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at SamanthaJaneYT, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!